Hey, this is Patty Ireland. Welcome to another writing pop-up where I spend a few quick minutes sharing with you some tips and personal examples that will hopefully be helpful to you on your writing journey. Today's pop-up question is coming from Merritt in Huntsville, Alabama. I met Merritt recently at a writers conference, so thank you so much, Merritt, for sending in your question. Merritt asks, I'm writing a story about my family and I want to be true to their values and history, but 3 of my beta readers have told me that my main character is coming off as being too good to be true and unrealistic. What do you think this means exactly, and how can I solve the problem? Well, that's a great question, and actually, it's one that I struggled with myself when writing about my own father in a memoir piece a few years back. So you're not alone, Merritt. So, first, let me say that, of course, I obviously haven't read your entire piece. I haven't read your piece at all. So, I can only answer your question based on the information you've given me in your question and your comments. So, please do keep that in mind. And secondly, I'll say that if 3 of your beta readers have told you the very same thing, that this character feels unrealistic, then there's a good chance that they're picking up on an important issue that you definitely need to address. So I totally understand that it's important to you to be true to your family's values. As far as adhering to their actual history in your writing, my question is this: are you writing a fictional short story or novel based on your family's lives, or an actual memoir? And I ask that question because my advice will be different, obviously, depending on your answer. So, if your writing is not strictly a memoir and it's merely based on your family's experiences and values, then I think you can certainly take some liberties there as far as not feeling like you have to be absolutely accurate to every historical detail. Um, we've all heard that old saying, truth is stranger than fiction, and sometimes it actually is. Sometimes we have to use our skills as writers, our craft part of the writing, to make a story that truly happened in real life seem more palatable, more believable, and more appealing to the reader. So that may well be the case here. I know from my own experience too that it's all too easy to fall into the trap of presenting a character that you actually knew and loved in your real life as being almost godlike and infallible. But the truth is that nobody, no matter how wonderful they are, is without flaws, right? So adding in those realistic details about the character's flaws will actually humanize the character, and it will make your writing stronger, and it will allow your reader to connect with that character more effectively. In my case, after receiving a rejection, after rereading and after realizing why the piece got rejected in the first place, and it was because the character of my father was presented more as this all-knowing savior type person rather than as a human man, I cut one whole section from the piece about him, and I added in sections that showed his humanity, the flaws as well as the strengths of his character. So finally, I would suggest that you might also consider investigating a newer yet increasingly more popular genre that is called autofiction. It blends autobiography and fiction together, allowing you to shape your writing, allowing you to craft it so that it might feel more appealing to your reader. So remember, real life doesn't always necessarily translate into believability without adding in the craft part to your writing. And writing in the autofiction genre might allow you to do that. So I hope this has helped. If you have a question or a comment for the Writing Pop-Up series, Be sure to either leave it in the comment section of pattyireland.com or email me at pattyirelandwriter@gmail.com. Thanks, everybody. Be sure to join me for the next pop-up.